Hey guys, Mars Thinking here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we are going to take a look at the new LR Goku and Vegeta at 55%. Did finally manage to get one copy of them after using pretty much all the stones that I had. So the part 1 luck definitely was not repeated for this banner anyway. I got very lucky on the Metal Cooler banner, pulled in pretty much straight away. And then these guys were a huge trouble to pull for me. So they are a joined forces or movie heroes lead for 3 key 170, and then they give an additional HP attack and defense 30% to pure Saiyans. So that means every single Goku and Vegeta card in the game is on their 200% lead. So that in and of itself I might do as a video. That will be a crazy powerful team. And then of course this opens up a lot of other options for units as well. Definitely going to do some 200% team showcases for some units. So their 12 key super raises attack and defense for 1 turn, does colossal damage to the enemy, and then the 18 key raises attack and defense for 1 turn, does mega colossal and greatly lowers attack and defense. And then their passive is key 3 attack and defense 150. They get 20% damage reduction. Then they get an additional 1 key per type key sphere obtained. Very useful ability for an LR to have. They launch an additional attack that has a high chance of becoming a super. So it's a guaranteed additional normal attack. 50% chance for it to be a super. Then they get an additional 20% damage reduction for 3 turns from the start of the turn. Then they get an additional attack and defense 50%. Medium chance of performing a crit when performing an ultra super. So as long as you're getting the 24 key, they have a 30% chance to crit built in, which is like the equivalent of having 15 crit in the hidden potential. So people were asking in the stream about if you do pull dupes for them. Obviously it's a 55% showcase, but additional definitely is a good way to go for them, especially because they're raising attack and defense on both of their super attack effects. And then you get the morale boost, which is their version of a costume change. They have to super attack 3 times and receive an attack 7 times. So even at 55%, because they're AGL and they get the free level 5 additional, they could potentially triple super attack in the first turn. So, but yeah, look at that. When you can get a decent amount of orbs, it's just like, boom, 24 key. So, obviously for these first couple of turns where we have the extra damage reduction, we're going to be able to tank reasonably well. It's not ideal that we had both of them on turn 1, but, you know, it is what it is. Shout out to someone on my friends list whose username is Hold Up, by the way, who already has these guys Rainbow set as his friend, so definitely going to be taking them up against Cell Max later on, I think, and see how well they do. Because in a turn where they get their supers off, and then the fact they have damage reduction, I don't know if a Rainbow one would live a super from Cell Max. I mean, not a lot of units do, right? Especially AGL units. But that would be definitely interesting to see. So, managed to get 1 additional super with them here on the first turn. And then the gods additionally. This is the bad thing, of course, when you're starting a new event of having the other unit in slot 3, because they didn't get any super attacks on this first turn. And then because we're floating them off, because they were on this first turn, their passive thing will have triggered that they get the extra damage reduction for 3 turns, but they're not going to be back again until turn 4, which means we're literally not going to see that the damage reduction for them, the extra damage reduction, which is unfortunate. So, go ahead and do this. Yeah, of course, we got both of our units that I would have wanted to be in slot 1 on both rotations on the same turn as well. Because they don't link up super well with God Goku. In fact, let me find God Goku on their list of link partners. Is he going to be under 3, maybe? Yeah, he's under 3. So he shares Super Saiyan Prepared for Battle and Fist Battle. Which at the end of the day is not the end of the world, right? Like any event where you can be running God Goku at his best, right? Against a Pure Saiyan or a movie boss. Having him in slot 1, having these guys in slot 2, even if they do only share 3 links, you're easily going to be able to supplement that by having units in slot 3 that share a bunch more links with them. Because when we look at their link partners on the site here, they only share 6 or 7 links with basically the copies of themselves, right? Because you can link up the costume changed one with the uncostume changed one, and then their TUR, they actually share 6 links. But then after that, every other unit that you would realistically be running, it's going to be 5 links in total, right? So 5 links, you got the SSJ Tech Goku, Tech LR Goku and Gohan, they share 5 links with. LR Future Gohan after the exchange, right, with Future Gohan and Trunks. LR Goku and Vegeta who fuse into Gogeta. They actually share 5 links pre and post fusion, which is cool. Namek Goku in LR Namek Goku, STR Goku and Vegeta, AGL Spirit Bomb Absorbed Goku. They got a cool KO screen as well, which is nice. Spirit Bomb Absorbed Goku and like Tech Broly, those are units that, whilst not so great anymore, will be due easy A's at some point. Obviously they're not on their 200%, although actually Spirit Bomb Absorb Goku is on their 200% lead. So when he gets an easy A, oof, they could be looking pretty good. So we're at 150k at the start of the turn with support from Krillin. This is the friend that, because we got floated off, they don't have the extra damage reduction. But this means they're going to get the defense raised from their super, potentially an additional super attack or two, each of which are raising their defense, and then they do still have 20% damage reduction. They always have that, so that is obviously very good. So in the early turns, when you're getting that extra 20% damage reduction, in some of the events like Super Battle Road, obviously they hit hard right from the start. Some red zone bosses do as well, to be fair. But you could in the early stages get away with putting them in slot 1 when they do have that extra damage reduction. Because yeah, look at that, 6.5 on their first super attack. So that is pretty good, because they don't have anything that like builds them up over time, right? Oh yeah, don't forget as well, they're also getting the extra 50% attack and defense and medium chance to crit when we get the ultra super. So immediately they're getting that 50% boost. So like, again, especially in the early turns, their defense is actually going to look really, really good. So let's go ahead and do this so we can save all of these orbs for them. So this is 24 key. With the fact that we got these guys on the side, they share 3 links, so we have 4 links active in total, and we are at what, 131k defense pre-super without any support, which is not bad. God Goku shouldn't finish him off here, and then we'll get an extra attack in. Now obviously for these 55% showcases, I just like to jump into the Vegeta event just to get an idea of like their numbers and stuff like that. So we may not get to see the costume change with both of the units. Hopefully we should get to see it, you know, by the time we get to the end. I might have to, because we've definitely super attacked enough times by now. So maybe we'll have to throw them in front of a bunch of hits, right? Because that's the only downside. And there's the crit, which of course at 55%, this unit does not have any crit, because the friend put all additional skill. Actually, no, wait, that was mine one. That was my one. The friend put for the bronze and the silver additional skill orbs, so he has 12 additional, whereas for my one I put in a level, actually no, I haven't done mine yet. So yeah, after reading through their kit and obviously actually trying them out again like in game, I think I definitely would go for additional more so with their hidden potential. So we can get the 18 key super, that's the most important thing. Because getting the 18 key super, it's not exactly super difficult because they get the extra key. And then they're getting not only that extra 50% attack and defense, but 30% chance to crit. So obviously that is very, very good. They are going to look significantly, like all LRs obviously do less damage if you're only doing their 12 key, for the most part. There are some that obviously do Mega Colossal and raise attack on 12 key and stuff like that. But these guys are going to look a lot less impressive if you're only able to get their 12 key super, because getting the extra 50% attack and defense is obviously very, very good. So let them take a few hits here. So that's the friend one. Maybe the friend one will actually be built up enough to do the costume change here before we get to the end. Piccolo here obviously is a good defensive unit, but he's just basically here to provide support for our movie heroes boys. I think we might as well just go ahead and put him in slot 1 here, because otherwise we're not actually going to get to take any hits. So we'll do this, and then we'll just grab these here. So in slot 1, obviously we've got type advantage, so yeah, they were never really going to take damage anyway. And they're hovering around 6 million, like between 5.5 and over 6, depending on the support. And that's from the 1 super, and then of course they have the built-in additionals. That KO screen is so good though. The fact that the Super Saiyan like hair like fades out after a couple of seconds as well. Super, super good. Alright, so friend unit, can you costume change yet? No. So let's see then, let's put them in slot 1, because the Int God Vegeta, he can actually still hit reasonably hard sometimes. But remember, they are still going to have 20% damage reduction. Now they've only got 131k defense, so putting them in slot 1 obviously is not the most optimal choice, especially if he is going to super. Yeah, see, they take damage from normal attacks. So this will do damage. How much is this actually going to do? 265. I mean, again, 55%. I mean, I think I've made it pretty clear, right? Like, this unit is not a slot 1 unit. I put them in slot 1 literally so we could get hit in order to get the costume change. Which obviously, in things like Red Zone, like even Red Zone Broly, like the number of times he attacks in 1 turn right from the start, you're not going to have too much difficulty getting them hit enough times in the more difficult content. But as you can see from this turn as a good example, definitely not really supposed to be a slot 1 unit, especially later on. As I said in the beginning, in the early turns when they're getting that extra 20% damage reduction, then you could probably get away with putting them in slot 1. But I feel like that ability, the way I see it, I don't know if they did it like that on purpose, but I see that extra damage reduction for the early turns as kind of like a safety net, which Dokkan doesn't really have, especially when it comes to Red Zone 3 attempts per day. But a safety net for when you get like a really bad starting rotation, because like I've said, they're not really a slot 1 unit. But if you get like a bad starting rotation and you have to put them in slot 1, then obviously they have that extra damage reduction for the early turns, and so then they are actually going to be able to defend reasonably well. I mean, this Vegeta, like you see the number of attacks we get now that we're further into the event. Like, if they hadn't been hit a single time, they're literally going to get all the attacks they need to build up their costume change from this turn. I think he is literally attacking like 7 times in the middle. It might only be 6, but it's close enough. And then, yeah, we only get the 1 super. So I feel like this unit, both this unit and the Metal Cooler, I mean, it applies to every unit, but they're going to be significantly better with dupes. How much do we take after 1 super with support on the rotation? Yeah, see, still 100k. But again, like, it's kind of, it comes down to a lot of the same things I said about Cooler, is units have roles on the team, right? And this unit, much better after supering defensively, but they're not designed to be a tank. So in harder content, especially if you're not getting the additional supers, they could get caught by a super attack, which is something you got to watch out for, especially at 55%. But now we are getting the costume change here. So when we get the change, it's kind of like the Krillin and Gohan with the battle armor, where the unit's power does actually increase. So they get extra attack and defense start of turn, key 2 and 150%. Then they get damage reduction of 30%, is their now guaranteed damage reduction. Oh, we can get the revival here with Goku as well. I think I might do that actually, because then we should go straight into a costume change with the other Goku and Vegeta as well. Because, yeah, God Vegeta should kill Super Saiyan Goku here, because he doesn't have God. Oh, never mind. Super attack, maybe? You like super attacking in slot 1? Come on. Okay, well, maybe we're not getting the revival then. But yeah, so should we actually, yeah, let's not hit the nose. So they now get 2 key per key sphere obtained, extra type for type key spheres only, not rainbow. Once they've costume changed, so it makes it even easier to get their 18 key super. Their additional attack now has a great chance of becoming a super, so 70%. And then they get an additional attack and defense 50%, medium chance to crit. Well, yeah, that's still the same. But then you also get a guaranteed crit when you use the active skill or when you get to 24 key. So again, another reason why additional is going to be like the best way to go for their hidden potential, because once they've changed into the like morale boost, like the costume change, whatever you want to call it, if you're getting 24 key, they have a 100% crit, right? So like having any crit in their hidden potential at that point becomes a waste. So of course, on this rotation, we can't get 24 key. We can get 23. Alright, well, I mean, they still have a medium chance to crit anyway, so let's see. We'll do this. I won't bother transforming any of the... I won't bother transforming the gods, because we don't need them to steal the show. But I mean, overall, I would say the unit is pretty impressive. But this is their first turn we're actually getting to see them attack after the costume change, though, so this could change my mind a little bit, because they are impressive to me at 55%, but not crazy. A lot of it, again, just like Cooler, can potentially come down to the RNG of super attacks. Yeah, 5.7. Now, again, we're not running like the most optimal link partners with them every single turn. I threw in a few like support units and stuff like that, just to get a sort of general idea. But then we get the additional super, which does 3.5. And now, of course, this raises their defense again. So after this, they'll be pretty good at tanking. But again, I'm not sure if, even at this point, if like they would tank a super like really, really well. I guess it depends. And then, of course, they do have the active skill, which is when facing one enemy starting from the next attacking turn. So it's after their costume change. And it just does ultimate damage and gets... I say just. It does ultimate damage and you get a guaranteed stun. But obviously, because you get that so deep into the event, like, chances are you're never going to see it in Super Battle Road, which is like the only event where you can actually stun anyway. So, interesting choice with the design there. But yeah, let's go ahead and see that here. We've got support. So, I mean, start of turn, they're at like 150k. With 30% damage reduction and raising defense on each super, I think that's not too bad. But of course, the animation skip was on. Well, fortunately, we have another one on the team. So, let's make sure that's turned off. And then grab these. See, look at that. We barely picked up any orbs and we still got 23 key. So... that's why I said, like, at the beginning, that like the extra key per key sphere is one of the best abilities that any LR can have, because it just makes it so much easier to get extra key. We've all had those instances where you get those really, really bad fields of orbs and it really screws you over. So units being able to get extra key is obviously massively, massively beneficial. So we'll take him out here, and then let's go for the... now we can actually see the active skill. And it's on a turn where we've got some support as well. So let's go ahead and actually see the active skill this time. God, this looks so good. Yeah, that Vegeta close up though. Ooh. And then, yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. So you get the guaranteed crit, and then let's grab the rainbows for you. Get those out of the way. And then look at that, we can get the 24 key. We got the active skill anyway, but yeah, it means we're getting guaranteed crits on this turn with them. So let's see how well they do here. 4 million attack for God Goku as well. God Goku is very good defensively, but remember, if you're getting those 2 rainbow orbs, and we got a little bit of support on the rotation, can actually hit pretty hard as well, for how good he is defensively. Like, if we had a brand, a rainbow EZA unit that's meant to be a damage dealer, 4 million wouldn't be too great. But when you're as good defensively as he is, that's pretty good. So 6 million attack stat on their 18 key. So their attack stats, I did the Cooler video first. Their attack stats not too different from Cooler. They're a little bit higher, but then of course the fact that we get the guaranteed additionals. Now, sadly, we did never get, I think during this entire run, we did not get the triple additional turn. It is possible, because obviously as an AGL unit, they have 3 level 5 additional, but it's not something that you're going to see super often. So I think with how good they are, like getting that extra defense being so good for them on the additional supers, I think even at 55%, I would say you're probably better off giving them like a silver additional skill orb rather than giving them like extra crit. Because again, here's another turn. We got 24 key, so they're getting a guaranteed crit this turn anyway. So if the unit had additionals, they would be completely wasted because they're going to 100% crit on this turn anyway. So yeah, this unit definitely very impressive to me at 55%. I think Goku's not going to finish him off here. Yeah, he didn't get his additional. They could maybe finish him off. Now, the friend has 12 additional because of the skill orbs that he gave him. So, he is going to guaranteed crit this turn, or they are going to guaranteed crit. So, if we get the triple super turn here, that is a lot of damage, as well as the defense raise. No, sadly, we only got the additional normal. It's a shame as well, because when their costume changed, the additional normal is like a 70% chance to become a super. So when you don't get it, it is certainly a little bit disappointing. But there you go. I would say this unit, very, very good at 55%. Obviously nothing insane, especially defensively. Going to rely on some RNG. But we are going to take them into some of the more difficult content and see how well they get on there as well. So let me know what you guys think of them down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.